Ever wondered why humans are quick to judge others? It's actually a survival instinct. Back in the days when our ancestors lived in the wild, making quick judgments was often the difference between life and death. A rustle in the bushes could be a predator, and they didn't have the luxury of time to investigate. Today, we no longer face those same threats, but our brains are still wired the same way. The catch, however, is that this instinct is now more likely to lead to misunderstandings and conflict than survival. You see, when we're quick to judge, we often overlook the complexities of a person's situation or perspective. This is why empathy is so important. It allows us to pause, to consider, to understand before we pass judgment. But to truly embrace empathy, we first need to understand ourselves. To break this cycle, we need to understand ourselves better. Self-reflection is the first step towards understanding our judgmental tendencies. This is a powerful statement that holds a lot of truth. Often we judge others without realizing that our own biases and insecurities are clouding our judgment. These biases and insecurities are, unfortunately, a part of our human nature. They can easily distort our perception and lead us to make snap judgments, often unfairly about others. So how can we combat these tendencies? The answer lies within self-reflection. By taking the time to introspect, to delve deep into our minds and question our thoughts, feelings, and actions, we can begin to understand why we judge the way we do. We can uncover the insecurities that lie beneath the surface, the biases that have been ingrained in us, perhaps unknowingly, over time. Understanding these aspects of ourselves can be an enlightening, albeit challenging, process. It requires honesty, openness, and a willingness to confront aspects of ourselves that we may not be proud of. Yet, it is through this process that we can begin to change. When we understand ourselves, we gain a greater sense of empathy. We start to see things from other people's perspectives, to understand their experiences, their feelings, their struggles. We become less quick to judge, more understanding, more compassionate. When we understand ourselves, we can better understand others. By practicing self-reflection, we can break free from the cycle of judgment and step into a world of empathy and understanding. And in doing so, we not only improve our own lives, but we also contribute to creating a more understanding and compassionate world. Empathy is the key to unlocking meaningful connections with others. It's a simple truth, yet one that we often overlook in our daily interactions. Empathy is not just about putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It's about truly understanding their feelings, experiences, and perspectives. It's about seeing the world through their eyes. Imagine for a moment that you're standing in a bustling crowd. Everyone around you is a stranger. You know nothing about their lives, their dreams, their struggles. But what if you could step into their world just for a second? What if you could feel their joy, their pain, their hopes, and fears? Suddenly, they're not just strangers anymore. They're human beings just like you, with their own unique stories to tell. This is the power of empathy. It bridges the gap between us and others, allowing us to connect on a deeper, more meaningful level. It reminds us that beneath our differences, we all share the same human experience. But empathy isn't always easy. It requires patience, understanding, and above all, a willingness to step outside of our comfort zone. It demands that we challenge our own perspectives and open our minds to new ways of thinking. So the next time you find yourself quick to judge, pause for a moment. Consider the other person's feelings, experiences, and perspectives. Remember, everyone has their own battles. Empathy helps us see that. Let's bring this into perspective with some real-life examples. Consider a manager at work who reprimands an employee for a mistake. The manager, without knowing the personal struggles the employee is facing, may come off as harsh, leading to further tension. Now, imagine a different scenario. The same manager, before reacting, takes a moment to reflect on their own stress and biases. They then approach the situation with understanding, leading to a constructive conversation instead of a heated argument. Here's another example. Let's say you're at a social gathering and someone makes a comment that rubs you the wrong way. It's easy to label them as rude or insensitive. But if you pause and reflect on your own reactions, you might realize that your judgment is clouded by a long, tiring day or personal insecurities. As these examples show, a little self-reflection can go a long way. So how can you practice self-reflection and empathy in your daily life? It's simpler than you might think. Start by setting aside 5 minutes each day to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Question your immediate judgments and assumptions about others. Try to walk in their shoes, understand their perspectives. Practice active listening in your conversations. And remember, empathy is a skill that gets better with practice. These simple steps can truly transform your relationships and worldview. Before we conclude, let's have a quick recap. We started with our natural instinct to judge others. We then explored self-reflection, a powerful tool that helps uncover our biases and insecurities. We emphasized embracing empathy, the bridge that connects us to others. We saw real-life examples showing the transformative power of this approach, and we shared practical tips to incorporate these insights into our everyday lives. Remember, understanding yourself is the first step to understanding others. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of self-reflection before judgment. If this discussion resonated with you, it would mean a lot if you could like, subscribe, and share our content. By doing so, you're not just supporting us, but also spreading a message of empathy and understanding. It's a small step, but with each one, we're creating a ripple effect of compassion. Together, we can create a more understanding and empathetic society. Until next time.